Petroleum, water of the next century. About 14 years ago today, an American multinational investment bank called Goldman Sachs predicted that water will be the petroleum of the next century. Viewers, think for a moment. If that is the case, then the day is not far away when the price of water may mean scarcity. Experts say that in the coming days, about 4 million people in the world will face water shortage, most of them in Southeast Asia. In this way, if the drinking water goes beyond the reach of people, where can the crisis be prevented? Will the world will fight over water in the coming days? Where, how will water wars occur? Today's analysis is about this topic. Stay tuned for the full video. When the audience talks about this issue, the first thing that comes to mind is that even though 71% of the surface of the earth is water, why can this readily available water become a precious gem in the future? Why water crisis has become such a big issue in the world? The reason for this is that 3 parts of the blue planet is fresh water. Everything else is salt water. That is, it is certain that the biggest crisis will be created with fresh water in the future. Because of water scarcity, the major factors responsible for the water crisis are environmental degradation, globalization, population growth, rapid industrialization, unplanned urbanization, water population, and water wastage. Due to these reasons, the pressure on this natural resource is constantly increasing. To deal with this pressure, the upstream countries are building big dams in the river basin. Due to the construction of dams in the upstream countries, water flow is decreasing in the downstream countries. The countries in the low-lying areas have to pay the worst. Mutual mistrust and deterioration of relations is being created between countries over water distribution, which is increasing the geopolitical instability between the countries. In this situation, in the face of ongoing competition between countries, there is a new uncertainty about whether hundreds of international water agreements will last or not. A great example of this Ethiopia's Greenis Dam construction project on the Nile River. Can water wars start? Water is the name of man, so where there is no water, there is no life. In this situation, people will rush to those towns where there is a possibility of getting fresh water or water is available at low cost. This can lead to two scenarios. One is that busy cities will gradually turn into abandoned cities, and the second is that the number of migrants will continue to increase in areas that have water reserves. Due to this, new problems will arise with those areas. Viewers, as geopolitical conditions on Earth shift to take control of oil, gas, and petroleum and other non-renewable fuels over the past century, the same thing will happen with water. And where the amount of fresh water is decreasing day by day, it is almost certain to say that world leaders will fight for water. In the days to come, the context of international politics can be said to be certain about the sharing of water resources, where the bilateral issues, the riparian countries will act as important issues of their own interest and geopolitical issues. Where water wars can occur, where the supply of fresh water is less than the demand, conflicts over water sharing are not new. A look around shows that conflicts over water may begin in new forms, from households to rural versus urban, agriculture versus industrial, and even intra and intra-regional parties. This will become one of the tools of exploitation, which has already started in different parts of the world. If you look closely, you will see that the great cities and civilization of history can be can be centered around water sources. Currently, those big cities are facing water shortage. Some of these cities are in a state of waterlessness as usual. Let's talk about Cape Town in South Africa. Cape Town is the first major city in the world to have the number of water shortage. There are some other cities in this list such as London, Moscow, Istanbul, Jakarta, Beijing and other big cities. In a few years, the water crisis in these cities will become more and more acute. Civilization, culture and economy will face crisis. Solution. While world leaders are busy with sustainable development goals, the triumph of science in the modern world is providing safe water for about 1.5 million people in the world. Millions of people die every year due to waterborne diseases. In this situation, the increasing shortage of fresh water must be met to prevent water wars. That's why many Indians are moving towards modern technology. One such way in the desalination process. It is the process of desalination of brackish seawater. Large amount of brackish water can be converted into fresh water. Hopefully, the desalination process have doubled over the past decade. Viewers, it is time to think anew about water management in the whole world to solve the crisis in the current situation. Measures must be taken now to ensure proper utilization of these resources, or the world will soon be engaged in a terrible war in which water, not to guns, missiles or nuclear bombs, will be the greatest weapon. Thanks for watching for this video and please subscribe our channel.